here we are. I'll just turn down the music for us. Leave a little bit. So pretty much what I want to do today for anyone that will be watching this video is get some comments going and ask me what you want to see in this game, and I can step you through from all the options to create a player to exhibition, bit of career mode. There's a tennis school as well, and obviously the online play is not available yet, although I did just have a bit of a game with another bloke and online, and it didn't seem to work too well. It was a bit buggy and glitchy, and when you were trying to return serve, your player would run away from the ball and stuff like that. So they're obviously still working on a bit to do with the multiplayer stuff in this game, but the AI stuff seems to work alright with a few glitches and bugs. I'll just pull up chat menu and stuff like that, so when we get some viewers we'll start asking some questions. Well, I'll just go and start creating a new player. You can have up to 20 player slots, which is pretty cool. So you're not limited to 1 or 2 or 5 or 6 players. You can have 20 different players. So we'll just go into this right now. So we've got a male. We've got athletic or muscular build. My last player was athletic, so this time we'll go a muscular. You've got your height, so you can go from 170 centimeters. This is all in metric. I'm guessing you can put it to imperial as well for the Yanks out there. All the way up to 208 centimeters if you are an absolute giant. For this one, I think I'm going to build a serve heavy guy, so I want him fairly tall. Just round it off at 200 centimeters. And then there's 10 pre-designed faces, so there's not too much face customization, which I don't really care about in these sorts of games. Sometimes they go a bit too much into customizing your character and miss out on some of the gameplay. So let's go this bloke. He looks pretty tough, tall, good tennis player. So you've got left-handed or right-handed. I'm going to go the right-handed, and then you can choose your backhand style. So you can go your one-handed, or you can go your two-handed. You can't choose your forehand style, from what I know, but I do prefer the one-handed backhand. And then there's a series of 5 different styles to choose from in your serves, all fairly similar. I'm not sure if any of them are conducive to a serve volleyer. One may jump more forward than others. Let's go to style 5, and then serve preparation. You've got the normal ball bounce, you've got the tap it with your racket, or you got the b-ball style between the legs. This time I'll go the tap it with the racket. You got your mindset, which is focused, and passive or expressive. Last time I did expressive, and he seems to give the player at the other end of the court a bit of shit when you're playing a bit of tennis. Bit like sort of a Bernard Tomic or a player like that, but I'm going to go the middle one this time. A type of groan, there's plenty of different groans that you can choose from. I did have a groan on my last character, but I'm finding it slightly annoying, so it doesn't really matter because I'm going to go never for the groan. you've got your identity. So we'll go to first name, enter in whatever you want. Let's go. Who knows? Let's go. Davo. Being an Aussie, you gotta love it. Slang for everything. So we're going at Davo. Davo Johnson sounds about right. And we can put him all the way up to 40 years of age, or down to 18. We'll start him off as a nice 21-year-old, so he can at least drink in the United States. And then just exit out of all of that, which you can do pretty quickly. So let's quickly make this again. I'll go the nationality this time. I hit X, so it looks like he's United Kingdom. If I hit circle now and try and go back, you'll delete your character, so you got to hit L1, and now you can change your nationality. Let's go. Where is our man gonna be from? Go Belarus. Let's put him from, let's go somewhere cool. Let's go Portugal. So then that's the summary. So if you hit circle, you will delete your character and we'll have to start again, just as I did. Or you hit X and you finish him. So pretty much, there's the character I've been playing for most of today. There's my new bloke, Davo Johnson. Takes you 5 minutes to set up a character. There's not a super amount of customization, so that's always good to make it quick and easy. But if you guys have any questions or want me to step you through anything or take a look at anything, let us know in the comments. Have a look through some of the options that you've got in here. Some of these will pop open when you're in the game, obviously your statistics of the game, some replays or forfeit the match. But you can have your customize everything on your screen, from your stamina gauge to your power gauge and everything like that. Your cutscenes, and then you've got all your music and master volume, sound effects. The commentary is pretty poor in the game. It's definitely something they need to work on, as well as a bit of the movement of the players and stuff like that, but I'm sure they'll work that out. And then obviously online is coming soon. Obviously still got quite a bit to work on that. Got a bit of a tutorial here. We've done the 4 basic ones, and you've got some advanced exercises. Highly recommend at least doing the basics first, and these will definitely come in handy, especially the drop shot. It's a little bit different. The lob's pretty easy. The serves are all pretty easy. These ones you've got to unlock in your career mode, so when you do a range of different activities in career mode, in your monthly career, you can do a serve bonus, which will give you 2 months of a serve bonus for your character, and then you obviously unlock them in the tutorial bit here as well. And then you got some challenges as well, which are all unlocked in career mode. Still not too sure exactly how we unlock them yet, but I'm sure we will find that out as we go. I'll give you a look into my main character. I've got Raphael Stevens. He's level 29. You can get 30 levels, I'm pretty sure. He's actually in the middle of a round of 16 tournament. Have a look at his stats here. So you can see he's level 29. He's got a coach and an agent. These are a little bit glitchy as well. So when you go into the coach, if I try and change coaches, it just flicks me back to my current coach. So the only way you can change coaches at the moment is if you quickly hit fire him, and before that current pops back up, you got to hit circle. And I didn't do it quick enough. So just deleted the coach. So now I can pick another coach. So I've got this one to level 5. She gives me 20% more experience. Some will give you bonuses to increase penalties or power or control. They also unlock your player skill cards. You can get them up to a maximum of level 5. I'm working on this one at the moment, so we'll just go back to him. Just hit X for that. And then back to the agent. Same thing here. If you try and have a look at another one, it'll just flick you back to your current agent. So to stop it doing that, you need to fire him and then hit circle and exit out before it pops back up with the current, and then we can go back in. We can take our time and we can see what they give you. So this first one, matches and training experience. Matches and training increase your experience by 10%. Traveling costs for you 100% less fitness. Traveling costs, sorry. Increases contract earnings by 20%. Decreases official tournament entry fees by 50%. And exhibitions have an additional 20% chance of appearing and give 20% more money. So seems to be a bit of an end game sort of agent there. Same with these. Official tournament just makes it cheaper. That one's going to be very handy for your fitness, which is the main thing in your career mode. So actually, we put it on the fitness one for now. And then you can see I've got a point available here. So I'm guessing you get a total of 30 points. It's fairly all-rounder I've got going here. So you can see if I hit R1, I'll add some points to those down there. 1 to power, 3 to stamina, and so on and so forth. I can remove that point and go and put it on attack if I want. Throws up a few different ones. The only ones it doesn't give me points for is control and spin, and then serve and volley. And these are pretty much the same points you get every time you get a new level. You'll get, if you choose serve and volley, you'll get 2 power, 1 stamina, 3 agility, and so on and so forth. They don't really change. You get 14 points in total, and you'll notice that your points can go up over 100, and they will by the time you're a level 30 character. Over here in the equipment, I've got a few different rackets. You'll see over on the right hand side, they'll give you different stats and bonuses. I've got some standard rackets, and then some exceptional rackets, which is the one I've got at the moment. But really the standard rackets only give you different stats to the exceptional rackets. I think it's just more a bragging right thing. Then we've got our strings, same thing again, changes your stats a little bit. You got your dampeners, plenty of more of these to unlock and buy in the store as well. Got some grips. You also unlock this stuff by winning tournaments and competing in tournaments in career mode. I don't have a hat yet, but if I wanted to, I could go in here. All different types of hats. Some are really, really expensive hats. These don't give you any bonuses, none of the clothing does. It's just purely appearance. So if you want a hat, you can pay $1,200 to $3,300 for a hat. Then you got your shirts and everything like that. Shirts here, these are the ones I own. A couple of special ones, a couple of exceptional ones. These are the ones if you pre-ordered and bought the gold pack or whatever. You get a Agassi US Open 95 polo and a McEnroe 1990 polo, and you get the whole set for those guys. In the shirts, you get a Federer armband. You get some of their shorts, the little tight McEnroe ones, and these really, really ugly 3/4 legging pants, which they are really, really hot on in this game for some reason. A lot of the characters you play against will be wearing these horrendous pieces of clothing. You got your different socks, exceptional socks, Agassi socks, McEnroe socks, and same with the shoes. Always unlocking these as you progress through the game, and you can always buy a new set. I wouldn't bother about saving your money or anything like that. It doesn't seem to be much point. I've been playing for a year and a half in game, so to speak, and I've got $50,000 and I've spent 1,000, and you need 600 or 1,000 to get into a tournament, so you don't really have to worry too much about any of that. You can go in here, see your tournament brackets. This is a mid-level tournament, nothing too crazy. One step away from the Grand Slams, but the step up to a Grand Slam is a lot harder. I hardly lose a game in these style of tournaments, but I haven't won a game in a Grand Slam yet. It's just a different level, which isn't too bad. At least it makes it a bit challenging before the online comes out. You can withdraw from the event. You can view the stats of the other bloke, see what he's got, see his special cards, which I'll explain to you in a second. He's got all level 3, and he's only level 16, so I should deal with this bloke pretty easily if I decide to play him. I'll just go back in and show you these stats. I've got 4 out of the 5 unlocked. I guess you get the 5th one at level 30, 1 level away. So we're going to modify these. You can also then hit square and have different tactics, so you can have preset tactics for playing a serve volley, playing something like that. It's all pretty cool, and this is probably the most different thing about this tennis game compared to any other previous tennis games. So you've got your stamina, your power, your control, and your agility cards. There's only a few agility ones there. And if we go through, and I'll just go to a new tactic, start from scratch. You see I've still got a lot locked here. Some of them are open, and some of them will have level 2 or 3. You level these up as you use them. They've got to be active to get the XP. And you'll see this one activates when you're receiving, and it gives you stamina penalties decreased by 20%. So that's only active if you're on the receiving end in the match. for decisive points, so we're talking set points, game points, break points, stuff like that. This card will get used, and it's another stamina consumption card. And then you'll see a lot of these in the power ones. If you go rocket serve and it's a decisive point, if you're on the receiving end of a decisive point, it's going to activate, but it's not going to do anything for you. But can be very handy if you want to create that unbreakable server and dominate people in maybe online or something like that, if you've got the skill to do it, which I probably don't. Another decisive point. This one activates if your stamina's low. Gives you some more things there. That one I've got at level 2 at the moment. And then you've got the control. This one's a permanent one. Gives you 10 control bonus. I think at level 1 it gives you 3 or 5, and then 7, then 10 for your level 3, which is maxed out. And your agility ones here. So they're your cards. You can have up to 5 of them if you're a level 30. I'm level 29, so I've only got the 4 available. So let's actually make one. Say we want a powerful server, so we're going to put this rocket serve one on. We could have that temporary power, so on that decisive point, when the rocket serve activates, we'll get an extra 10 power as well. We could go get another bonus at the start. This one, as the bonus decreases by 1% every shot you play. So after 5 shots, that card pretty much turns off. We've got some powerful top spins, but we're going to go for the... Oh, didn't know I unlocked that. That one's a handy one. I'm going to go powerful serves here, which is got it to level 3, 7% power bonus, and that's for all serve. That's permanent. So that's a 4 of some really strong serving cards. And then no one's got any questions or anything like that. I'll just put this point onto my dude. Really want to get his backhand up a bit, but whack it in the attack. I really don't think at the moment stamina matters too much. You probably see that my stamina drains really quickly when I go to play this match. It just, within a game, maybe 2 games, it can be 0 sometimes. But it doesn't seem to affect your player. If the AI runs out of stamina, it seems to affect them a lot more. So I've got all these serving bonuses on. My dude's not really a big serve volleyer, but so it's a bit weird like that. But we'll see how we go. I'm ranked 16th, he's 55. I've got a level advantage over this AI, so we shouldn't do too bad. And it's a 2-set match. And 3 games a set, and if it's 1 set all, then we've got a 7-point tiebreaker for the final set. You can see your details of both players there, the cards that they've got, and all that stuff. We'll start the match. It looks like I'm receiving. So it's just activated my powerful serves because it's a permanent card, but it's not going to help me at all, obviously, while I'm receiving. Just trying to hit the ball nice and deep into the court. And you can see the character could have probably got to that, but because it's so deep, he doesn't get to it. It'll do the same thing if you're out of position and the ball sort of goes past your shin or it just goes past your left arm.
30,
Can
15.
get quite frustrating. You may hear me swear quite a bit, especially if I start losing, as most people do. I would definitely like to see some on the line replays and maybe a challenge system in this game, especially in the online. If they can put that in, that would be amazing.
30, 40.
Doesn't seem, and see, we've got a decisive point. Activated all my cards, but they're all for serving, so they're not going to do too much. And that is out.
Deuce.
Got a deuce. These can go on for quite a while. And there you go, just play it nice and deep. Put it past his shins and you can't hit it.
Fault. Out.
Whoa. See, I'd love an on the line replay on that. I don't think even if you go and press your triangle and get this replay, that it really gives you a better angle. No, it doesn't.
Deuce.
There you go, nice and deep, nice and powerful, straight back at him. Can't hit it.
Advantage.
And there you go, I've gone the right way, played my shot, and he just hasn't picked up the ball, and we're back to deuce. So it's definitely a little bit glitchy, which I'm a little bit disappointed on, because it doesn't seem to be too hard to get a tennis game right, because they can get games like basketball and NFL and NHL and AFL and all these crazy games that have multiple players going left, right and centre, tackling and doing all that. I think they should be able to get the physics in a tennis game pretty spot on in 2018.
Fault.
But it is a new franchise, so I wish them all the best. I hope they can put in a couple of patches, which is the good thing about the latest games. You can just download patches, and they do have the opportunity to update it, which obviously before the internet and all that stuff was not possible.
Fault.
Just going back and forth to juice here, which can get quite annoying. Nice and deep. So that's what she said.
Advantage.
Hit the line. That's nice. So there's our first game. One love. Took a while. And this is where we might start seeing some of our service cards come in handy. Let's do a normal power serve. Put him out of court by quite a long, and then put my ball out of court. So you can do your normal tricky stuff of walking all the way over to the side if you want, and then put in a big top spin serve, push him out of court, and whack it back that way, so you can sort of play around with the AI that way and win some easy points if you want. And you can come out this way, hit your square button, do a big spin serve, put him way out of court, and there's 2 easy points. I don't like doing that too much, and if you try doing that on some of the better players, they will just put it back to the other side of the court and you will lose, which isn't too bad. There's a nice ace. I don't get too many aces. That's probably that card kicking in. And because there's this game point, all my cards are just kicked in. Nice easy game. 2 love. Is he going to come to the net? Got it past him. The lob is pretty broken against the AI in this game. If they do come to the net and you lob them, you normally win the point. They don't seem to have the power to get back. Bang. Easy.
15-30.
Another easy point. Looks like we're going to take this set fairly easy. As I've said, the early tournaments are pretty easy, but as soon as you go to your first Grand Slam, the game just steps it up another notch and plays a lot better. So there's definitely a learning curve to when you get into the Grand Slams.
Fault.
Another wide power serve for a fault. Let's do a nice top spin serve. Hitting it nice and deep. Don't want to let it bounce really. Make him volley from the back of the court. Just work him side to side. Find the top spin is probably your passing shot, like in most tennis games. Get nice angles.
Fault.
Top spin's your circle on the PlayStation. Do a big spin serve here. Nothing too crazy. And then there you go. I really thought I could have got to that ball before it bounced, but the game just doesn't let you get there. So definitely a few things they need to fix, I think. It's going to be interesting when the online comes out. What tactics get used by the players, what serving tactics, what returning tactics. Is it going to be able to get dominated by the servers?
30 all.
You're going to have to jump around on the baseline when you're returning. All questions that will be answered when the online multiplayer comes out. A big power serve straight down the middle. And there's a bit of the game physics again. It does get quite frustrating when you play it for 12 hours or so, and every 5 minutes you lose a point that you think you can get to. But it does go both ways. the AI will
Advantage.
have the physics work against him too. Go to the net. The one thing that does lack a little bit with the audio is the crowd. They don't really make
Fault.
too much noise. Every now and again an ooh or an ah, but they don't really clap or anything. There's an ooh. And then not even a clap. Oh, you can see him clapping, but you can't really hear him clapping.
Love 15.
So there's a few things like that that could be tidied up. And the commentary is horrendous. I have it turned off because he says pretty much the same thing over and over again. He will say, look how much power that bloke has or whatever, and you've just hit a lob over his head. It's very generic and definitely not 2018 standard, like most games and their commentary these days. Although UFC 3 has done a pretty good job lately. Let's go to the lob. And he doesn't get to it. They rarely get to the lobs.
Love 40.
Here we go, break point. All my serve cards are active, which don't do much in this situation. And there's the expressive attitude that he's got. He'll jump up and down and give it to the other player. Let's go real wide serve. Not much power on it.
Fault.
Just tried to place it out there. Didn't work. So serving is as simple as just holding a button, whether it be X, circle or square, and just releasing it depending on how much power you want to give it. The most power is at the top of the ball. When you throw the ball up, when it gets to the top of that arc, you let it go, and that will be a powerful spin, top spin, or just a flat out shot. Here we go, let it go, whack. That's 172 k an hour by the look of it, and my dude's not really a server. It didn't look like I got to that ball, but I hit it.
Out.
And that's out.
15 all.
Nice easy point.
30 15.
Do like the physics on the game for when you get wrong footed. Like if you are going one way and try and switch back the other way, like it will wrong foot you and you will not get to the ball, which is probably a bit better than top spin 4. And straight past him. I don't think he was watching. 3 love, 3 love. Probably a little bit harder than that looked. Got to get your timing right, but overly not the hardest game in this level, when you go to the Grand Slams, the AI plays a lot harder, and then the physics seem to work against you a lot more. So got that up to level 2 now, so that's a 15 power bonus on decisive points, so that actually does work when I'm returning or whatever. And nearly up to our level 30 now, and through to the quarter final of the New York US, which is not the US Open or anything like that. It's just a mid-tier tournament, but we're up against the number 10 in the world, John Clark, next, so it might be a bit of a challenge. Do think I have beaten him in the past. The good thing about this, you can press circle, which will save and quit while you're in the middle of a tournament, and you could say go back into your career, go to a different career person and have a play on there, so you can pretty much save and quit at any time, and then when you go back in here, just launch straight back to where you left off, which is pretty cool. So you go out of that into my fresh character that I just showed you guys how to make, and you've got your 3 different choices in this start of your career mode. So you've got your challenger, which is shorter matches, and matches can be replayed without having to forfeit them. Seems pretty pointless. You've got your professional, which is shorter matches and you can't replay your matches, which is what I've chosen for my first career. And then you got your realistic, which is your realistic match length. Can't replay matches obviously, and no help interface. That may get a little bit tiresome of going through a 64-man tournament or a 32-man tournament and having to play 3 sets or 5 sets. But if you want that realistic experience, more than welcome to go for that. When you go to the professional, just click on that. Loads in as your season 1, January. Gives you your welcome message. And tells you you want to obviously earn some ranking points and become world number 1. Gives you some more information. Main thing about this is you want to rest, you don't want to get hurt. I haven't got hurt yet, but I've been pretty careful resting and stuff like that. But there are a few little tips and tricks you'll learn as you go along. Another more information. Says carefully manage your money, but I haven't had any problem managing my money on my other character. I've never had any money issues or anything like that. I've got $50,000 and I don't really know what to spend it on other than entering tournaments, which I just win more money from, so it seems a little bit pointless there. You can obviously buy items and stuff like that, but yeah, you're not going to run out of money. So you've got the order of the day, so it's broken up into 12 different months, and here they are obviously, and you'll notice that December is like a buy month. Like, so when I went through the first season of my other character, I made sure I wanted him rested, because I wanted him rested in case he qualified for the Melbourne or the Aussie Open, the Melbourne Millennium. So I rested him up sort of in November rather than playing that Tokyo tournament. But then it got to December and I could have put him on a winter break, which gives you, I think, 50% of your stamina back rather than 25% if you choose to just take a rest. So there's your rest. That'll give you a maximum of 25% of your stamina back. You can play an exhibition match. You won't lose any stamina on this one. If you look up under your Davo Johnson and your player information, you get a little stamina bar there, which is full because we haven't done anything yet. But that exhibition match doesn't actually take any stamina because you don't have to fly far. You can do some video analysis, which will give you a bonus, like normally a 10-point bonus on some sort of stat for the next 2 months, so for the next 2 tournaments. And they do stack, so if you do a couple of them just before you enter a Grand Slam, might be an added advantage. You could do some agility training, and that'll also give you agility bonus over the next 2 months or 2 tournaments or whatever. So go back to your calendar. We're not qualified for the Melbourne Millennium yet, so we can only do the Orca Open, or we can do whatever else, but you can only do one of these things every month. So obviously, this being a new character, we'd probably go the new tournament. You can have a look at the tournament bracket there. You're currently ranked 100, so you're the big outsider. You're straight into the round of 16, then quarter, semi, and then the final. And as you get into the bigger tournaments, you've got to play more matches. And this one, because we're on that intermediate setting, we're not on the realistic setting of the proper matches. These easy tournaments just are pretty much a super tiebreaker, first to 10 points with a 2-point lead. So that's all pretty easy. So you can withdraw from the tournament, have a look at those brackets, or have a look at the match. You can view your stats. So this is your player page, your attributes, attack, defense, serve, volley. So this is an absolute fresh character. He's got absolutely nothing. Got some, but you do have everything that you've unlocked from previous careers available to you. So if you unlock something, you can use it on whatever character you've got, which is pretty cool. So you could start him off with some stats on your stats bonus on equipment. We can't get an agent yet, but we can get a coach. And the coaches do start back from level 1. They don't retain anything from your previous people. So we'll just go 4% more experience, and that'll go up to 20% once she reaches level 3. You can see your power, your stamina, all that are pretty much mid-60s. We've got no points available to put on any of our bonuses. And when you do, you get 14 points, but they will allocate themselves and they will be the same every time. So you can have a pretty big play around. I know a lot of people are going just pretty much 30 points on serve volley and creating that big server. That's not really my type of style. Like, it's like the golf games and you play against someone and they shoot 20 under on 18 holes every single time you're playing. It's just pointless if you sort of find a glitch in the game and exploit it. But I'm not sure whether you'll be able to do it on this one in online, but time will tell. So other than that, you get your Dave Johnson reversing Anthony Garrett. He's a level 3, and at any time hit circle and we can go and do whatever else. And that's now saved in both my level 29. I can go back to that one, hit save and quit, go back in there. I can go straight back to my tournament there. So you can chop and change, and you can have up to 20 different characters. So if there's any questions you guys have got, just pop them in the chat bar. If you want me to show you anything, if you want me to play a game or whatever, just let us know. I'm gonna have a 2 or 3 minute break, and then I'll come back, and if there's nothing in the chat, I'll play another game. So now I've pretty much got you guys to listen to the entire soundtrack of the game, which is quite large. Not. I'll get into the game very shortly. So it's going to go to this new career, very close to getting to the Covenant level 30 in Raphael Stevens. But we're going to start this new one out as a Davo Johnson. I may make him as one of those serve volley specialists. Time will tell. But we've got 20 different dudes to play with, so we can have plenty of different guys. We'll just go straight in, launch match, hit X. There's some of the controls. You can go inside out, sprint, you got your volley preferences. Haven't played too much with that yet. But all your different types of shots. And we're into it. So he's got a card, he's level 3, I'm level 1. First game. Have a look at the details. Pretty even really. And it's just a super tie break, first to 10 points. So let's get into it. I don't have commentary turned on, and I don't have the music on because they're both extremely shit. Well, here we go with Davo Johnson, his first serve in professional tennis. Not a bad way to start. And I do have the crowd turned up, but they don't seem to be too loud at clapping.
Fault.
Definitely quite different playing with a level 1 character again, but it's definitely not too hard. One interesting thing is when you are returning, there only seems to be like a few different points you can really get your dude to sit. So that's going to be pretty interesting when it comes to online. Oh, that was shocking. And you can see my stamina is going down so fast. It's already under halfway, but it does not seem to matter at all. Stop bouncing the ball and hit it. Try and work on the serve volley game with this character a bit. It's not my normal play style, but just trying to hit the ball nice and deep. Use that top spin shot a lot. Put it right on that baseline.
4-2. Fault.
Another thing with the game, every now and again the ball gets quite hard to pick up. So I don't know whether they're going to put in an option to change the ball colour or something like that, but certainly on some of the grass courts in certain conditions, in the sunny conditions, the ball just becomes nearly invisible.
5-2.
I will just show you some of the cameras. So that's the normal camera there. We'll just go to the far camera. Moves it out to there. Bit of a different view. Let's try and play a point in this view. Pretty hard to sort of pick up the ball, but you do notice a little black dot will appear where the ball is going to land before it actually lands there. Let's go to the next view. This is the only other view. You got the 3, and this is immersive. This is nice and close. It's a pretty cool angle. Bit of a different style.
Fault.
A little bit harder to judge, I think.
Fault.
Oh, double fault. Like that. Try and play
5,
at least
4.
1 point in this style. It's not too bad.
6, 4.
Go one more.
Fault.
So probably more of a real life looking
7,
tennis
4.
angle there. And we'll just head back to the normal, and you can obviously change everything here, mile per hour, display shot quality. Let's see how I'm going with shot quality. I've never turned this on, but see whether it can give us some pointers.
Fault.
Stop dancing the ball. This one's pretty annoying.
Fault.
It's a pretty ordinary
7,
start.
5.
That's telling me how the opponent's hitting the ball. It's not really telling me how I'm hitting the
7,
ball.
6.
Oh, there we go. Low arc, but it's hit the line.
8, 6.
And there's a bit of the glitch again.
9,
Player
6.
could have easily got to that. And that'll happen to you as well as the AI in these early stages of this game, it looks like. And that's a game, set, match. Match 1 in a brand new career of Tennis World Tour. A little bit glitchy, a few improvements to be made, but I'm sure there will be updates. And so we've leveled up, so now level 2, we can go and put our first skill point on. So on 1-0 in the super tie break, the first to 10 points. Got some XP and got some coin. And looks like I've just realised that your money from whatever career just adds up into one account, because this is the first time I've done anything on this one. And I've already got $52,000 there, which is my account from my other player. So it looks like that all stacks up together. So whether that's something to come into the online multiplayer on waging games or stuff like that, But that's interesting. So there's our level 2 point. We can now go in here, hit our view stats with our square button, and we can choose which one we put this on. So we could go defense 1 point there, there's the stats it gives you, everything but serve and volley, and ranging between 1 and 3 there's a total of 14 points in that. You can take that off with L1, go down to attack. There it is again, everything but spin and control, and that's also 14 points. And then the serve and volley, everything but your backhand and spins or spin, and again 14 points. That will remain the same every single time. It's 14 points. It'll be 3 on volley, 3 on serve, 1 on forehand, and such for serve volley. It'll be the same, nothing changes. You'll get a total of 30 points. Your total level's level 30. And then you unlock your skills and your agent along the way as you level up. So we'll put it on the serve volley, because this is going to be our serve volley guy. Probably won't get used too much. And there we go, that's on there. So you can see we're level 2, playing a level 4. We've moved up a ranking, we're now 99 because we've got some points from winning that first game. And we've progressed in the tournament bracket. So we'll see how we go in the next one. Should be alright. Straight into launch match. Doesn't take too long to load, which is always good. And straight into it. A little bit annoying, this animation, you can't cancel it. I might change that soon. Just go in and back off. A little bit annoying. But you can take your stamina bar fully away, have it there all the time. Most of the HUD is customizable.
Two, 0. Fault.
That's a pretty large fault by Barry.
Out.
My bad.
2, 1.
Definitely going to change this animation. One between the legs is a lot quicker.
Out.
Just trying to hit the ball too hard at the moment, I think.
2-all.
There we go. A little bit of a glitch. Straight past his ankles. For an easy point.
Out.
Oh, yeah, that is missing an
3-all.
easy shot. Another bit of a glitch,
4-3.
straight at his feet. Nice and deep. Change the tide here. That's right, this dude's meant to be a serve volleyer. Let's see if we can get a serve volley in. There we go. Nice easy serve volley point. Not the quickest in on the volley though. Nice, another glitchy point.
6-4.
It's just from hitting it deep into the court.
Fault.
Just catching the AI out of position.
Fault.
Double fault.
7-4.
So we got a big another serve volley here. And I thought I would have got to that, but obviously not. That's getting caught in front of the baseline there, sort of three-quarter court, which is where you don't want to be in this game. Through the legs and out. Character will do those weird moves every now and again, and it will affect your agility. Just start pushing this ball nice and deep again. Oh, see, I could have got to that. It bounced over my knee, but it just wouldn't let me play the shot. Let's have a look at this replay. It's a nice drop shot. Bounce. And he just gives up before he gets there. A little bit annoying. Oh, that's out. AI's having a bit of a comeback here.
8-7.
There's a nice shot.
8-all.
See if we can spin one and kick it out wide and get into this volley in time. Not really. Won the point, luckily.
9-8.
Oh, hit the line. Nearly went at it too hard. Game, set and match. Alleviated. 22nd game. There's a look at the stats. Your match duration. All pretty boring when you're playing 10 points or best first to 10 points. Some XP, which should get us to the next level. Some more money in the kitty. And another bit of XP. There's our level 3. We've unlocked our first tactic slot and our first skill slot. So let's go and have a look. Hit your square, go into view your stats. Got 1 point available on here. At the moment I want to get this guy's serve up because that's gonna be his main weapon. So put it on the serve volley, confirm that. There we go. And then this is what we've just unlocked, our skills. So skills give you bonuses during a match. Each skill has an activation condition. Create your own combinations of skills to implement your playing strategy. You can save several different tactics. So when you go into this screen, a bit more information, blah blah blah. Pretty much saying you can upgrade every card that you unlock to level 3, but you have to be using them to unlock them. If you hit your square, you go into your tactics, and then as you unlock some more of these, you can have your presets. So you can have him as a serve volleyer, or you could have, if you're playing a guy with a lot of stamina or something like that, you can have some stamina ones put in there for a certain game or a certain opponent, which will be handy when it comes to online. So at the moment here we won't have too much unlocked. Got nothing unlocked for stamina, so we'll go across to power. Got a few here. Got the rocket serve for decisive points only, so that's game points, set points, match points. Temporary power for decisive points, so this one will obviously work if you're returning serve. This one will only work if you're serving. Decisive attack, and so that one's a 5% power bonus at the start of a point, and the bonus decreases by 1 per shot, so 1% per shot. So after 5 shots that card is then useless. So for these early stages we want him to have a bit of a bonus, so rather than going the 5% for the serves, we'll go this one. Just hit X and it'll lock it in there. Sweet. So if you guys want to leave any comments or anything, ask any questions, I can show you anything in the game. You can just save and quit out of this at the moment, go back, and obviously online play is still coming soon, which will be the most interesting aspect. I have played with one other bloke on PlayShare, and it wasn't the best experience. It was his first time playing the game, but it was quite glitchy and buggy, and you'll see that when you're returning serve, every now and again your player will just run away from where the ball's going and stuff like that. So there's obviously still a little bit of the game to work on for the online play, but if you guys don't have any questions, I'll play one more of the new career and then call it a night. So here we go, straight in, launch match. This is the semi-final in Vancouver. I'll try and stream most of this bloke's career, and then I'll try and stream some online action. Obviously I'm no gamer pro or anything like that, don't claim to be. I'm just a hack, but just telling you my thoughts on the game. And pretty mixed at the moment on this Tennis World Tour. Very glad to have a new tennis game in the title since Top Spin series broke up with Top Spin 4, and they've put a lot of effort into this, but I think they've still got a long way to go to get a nice finished polished product. So hopefully we see it in this title and they do some updates and clean a few things up. Player's got a nice wide receiving stance there. AI starts off with a fault as per normal.
Fault.
And a double fault.
1-0.
Nice easy point. Oh, I didn't change the bounce. Should have pushed into the net a bit harder and a bit quicker then, but it's just not my normal game style.
2-0.
And should have got to that one.
2-1.
But that's well tennis to it. Tennis well to it.
Out.
Was out by a long way.
2-all.
Let's try and make this a bit of a quick one.
Out. 3-2.
Try and work on that
3-all.
serve volley game. Really got to hold R2 to make him run into the net. Otherwise he just doesn't want to seem to do it.
Fault. Fault.
Another double fault.
4-all.
God, he'd be smoking me if he could serve.
Fault.
I have had 5 consecutive double faults against me by the AI before.
Fault.
So there's 2.
5-4.
2 double faults in a row by the AI. Shouldn't be trying to hit those shots that hard when they're that easy.
6-4.
But all or nothing. Another nice easy point.
7-4.
Definitely is not this easy when you get to the Grand Slams.
Out.
You definitely don't want to be
7-5.
making this many unforced errors.
Fault. Fault.
Lots of double faults by this bloke.
8-5.
It's pretty annoying, really. Yeah, nice and deep. That's what she said.
9-5. Fault.
Looks like the fault bug is contagious. double fault bug is not. And that's game, set and match. One super tie break to nil in the early stages of this career. 87% of the first serves for Davo Johnson. Jordan Harris, 4 double faults. That's pretty wow when only 15 points got played and 4 of them were double faults. Obviously we hit some more winners. Made the same amount of unforced errors. His all coming by double faults. And we won 1 of 1 point at the net, which is more than I normally get. Get our match over experience. And then we get match winner experience. And more funds into the giant kitty. I've been playing this game for a few hours now and already got 54 grand. And seems that all your money pulls into one giant kitty from all your characters. Got to our level 4. Unlocked a couple of cards. Just go into here. Put that extra point onto serve and volley. Looks like our coach is nearly leveled up as well, which will make our experience go up even quicker. So there's all the details in your help, what stamina and power and agility is and what control does and serve and all of that stuff if you're new to the tennis game. Let's just get out of this, jump out of that again. Doesn't seem like you can really edit his play styles or anything like that once you have set him in motion, which is a little bit annoying. You can obviously change his clothes and everything like that. You can't change his before serving motion. I seem to have selected the second option, which is quite annoying, and I won't be making that mistake again. But I'll leave it there. It's been live streaming for probably an hour now or something, not too sure. But hit a like or a subscribe button. I'm trying to get on this game probably every night around this time for a couple of hours. We'll follow this bloke's career. I may make him again without that annoying bounce before his serve that you can't skip. But other than that, have a good night, and I'll catch you all later.